Okay, today we're going to be working on week 3, which is conductance and osmosis lab. And I just want to give you a short little video to show you how the setup works because it's not intuitive. Right. So what you're going to do is go ahead and get each group has one of these surface probe, and they're going to go ahead and hook up the probe as such. This group did a perfect job. And what we can see is we've got the sparkling system, and the sparkling system is going to have the water probe, what is that called, passport, hooked up to it. And you're going to go ahead and plug it in, and it has to go in one specific way, and make sure it's selecting the 0 to 100 K Siemens per centimeter squared. So that's just, let's see, what is it, the one that's closest to the base. So that button is usually the one that's going to work the best. And then you're going to have the cord hooked up here on conductivity, and then it's going to be hooked up to the probe itself. Now the probes need to be in solution, and here we can see kind of how that works. This is one just in water to start off with. This is the washing station. The washing station is going to have 2 beakers about half full with water. This would be 1, this would be 2, and this would be 3. And we've got it just soaking in 2 right now, just because. Every time you take a reading, you just want to make sure that the holes, we're going to see here, there are little holes down at the bottom. And of course, they're going to give it a little shake each time to kind of get all the little fluids out. And once they're clean, there's these little tiny holes at the base, about 1 inch up, and those actually need to be touching the solution for conduction to be registered. Let's see, what else? Okay, so let's now look at a reading. This is super exciting. So we've got it now in this like middle solution, and my faithful lab assistant here is going to demonstrate how we set it up. Before we do that, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and close this out, is that okay? And can I trouble you to hold this while I do that? Thank you, extra bony points for you. So I'm just going to close this out. We don't need to say that now. So every time you set it up, there's a SparkView app on the computers. We can just go ahead and open that sucker out. Don't update it. IT has to do that, so students can just select done. If a little thing comes up asking it to update, then we're going to use the middle sensor data where we're going to build an experiment. So at this point, we need to select, sometimes a little template for a graph comes up, and we're going to select on that. And for today's experiment, we're just doing one graph, so one is perfect. Sometimes we'll do multiple ones at the same time, and you can select multiple ones. Each time you do one of these, we want to make sure our units are being registered properly, so there's a little button there to select, and we're going to go over here to conductivity. And for today's lab, since it's so salty, the 1x seems to work just perfectly. And then we're ready to go. Every time you take a reading, there's a button at the bottom, the green button, and you just kind of click that. And I usually let it go for about 10, 30 seconds somewhere. Try to get students to be kind of consistent. And you can see it sort of oscillates around. This is, again, just water, so it's pretty low. When they actually want to determine what those values are, they will select for the line of interest. Sometimes they're going to have multiple lines. They can just select which one they want their data from, which is really nice. And then you go down here to this sigma, epsilon, whatever you want to call it, and select. For this one, we just want to determine the mean. And so then you hit mean and OK, and there we have a really small number. I think it's like 19-ish. My eyesight's pretty bad. So the numbers always come up very small. Sometimes we have magnifying glasses. And that's how they're due to the recording of their data. The other part of the lab has to do with osmosis. Awesome, thank you so much. And so there's a bunch of different ways to do the osmosis part of the lab. Some people make dialysis bags filled with water and put them in different sugar solutions, going from 0 to 1 molar in like 0.2 molar increments. What I opt to do is usually soak some eggs in vinegar for a couple days in advance so that they get to see the cool cell membrane of the egg, and then I have the students weigh each egg at the beginning of class, before they've soaked them in the different sugar solutions. And then right now we have this one soaking, and we're going to weigh it in a little bit to hopefully see the loss of weight. You can also do this with potatoes. You could cut up small pieces of potatoes, and it works really well too, and it's a little cheaper. All right, that's it. Good luck. You'll need it. There's also places to record the data. Do you mind if I borrow those real fast? Thank you. I made these little sheets. They should be in the computer on week 3. And again, this is how the students will record their data. So again, whatever way you think is best, but this has worked pretty well over the